Welcome back to the Spencer Tarot deck. Today we are discussing the Court of Wands. When we talk about a court in the tarot deck, we are talking about four archetype characters that can represent people. In my deck, we have the Prince and the Princess, the Knight and the Queen. And obviously the Prince and the Princess is from a younger perspective of someone new to the energies and working with them. And the Knight and Queen are obviously more mature, have lived longer, and have more spiritual awareness of those tools. The first court we're going to look at today is the Court of Wands. Wands, remember, represents fire, represents energy, represents doing, represents physicality. And in the Court of Wands, in my deck, if you look at the photo I have created, or the painting, we see a beautiful family of, again, the elderly man in the mustache would be the knight, the woman by his side is his wife, the queen, and their two children, the prince and the princess. If you notice, what I did is, keeping with a Victorian theme, I kind of went a little steampunk with all of this idea of electrical energy. And electrical energy is very much a wand idea. Fire, movement, progression, newness, energy. And what we'll be looking at with the Court of Wands is different aspects of how this element of fire plays out. Also, the Court of Wands could actually refer to a specific person of the zodiac signs that are fire. So we could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. But it could also mean someone that exudes that energy. Remember that our zodiac makeup is many signs for all our planets. So sometimes we act out more like another sign. Like, even though I'm Aquarius, at times I am very Cancer and very kind of quiet and reflective. And I also have a Leo moon, and sometimes I'm the performer, and I can be the opposite of that and super on the stage and super theatrical. So we play out different roles. And so you have to look for clues and ask questions in a reading. So let's say someone pulls the Prince of Wands. You might say, I'm seeing a fiery type character. Do you know of anybody that's a young boy who's an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? They go, oh yes, my son is. And that could be a clue to who you're talking to. But also, these characterizations can come out in the person you're reading for as well. So you need to know a little bit of study of the cards, but again, the Court of Wands we'll be looking at in more detail. Okay? So Court of Wands, fire energy. Our first character in the Court of Wands is the Prince of Wands. And if you look at the card I created, we have a devastatingly handsome gentleman, stylish, powerful, and he's surrounded again by steampunk electricity. And he's a doer. He's going places. But he's also ambitious. And so the Prince of Wands is someone that is deeply expressing their passion for whatever that is. And they're going after their dreams. They could be an Aries, they could be a Leo, they could be a Sagittarius. There tends to be an athleticism and an energy about these kind of people. And it usually just means a young man with great energy moving forward. So, energy can express in many different ways. It could be like, a teenage guy good at sports. It could be entrepreneurial business type that's going after their goals. It could play out many different ways, and that's where you'll have to kind of do a little research and ask questions to figure out what you're looking at. But the main idea of the Prince of Wands is someone that's enthusiastic to get started in their passion in life. And they have a deep passion to be who they want to be. and they don't kind of put up with a lot of bullshit. They're kind of very strong, opinionated people going after their goals. And it represents a man who's got plenty of energy and creativity to move forward in life. A young man with great energy, and again, possibly an Aries, Leo, or Sag. Our next character is the Princess of Wands. The Princess of Wands is a young woman that tends to be super athletic and in activity, so they might be considered a tomboy or a little bit more boyish. Just because they're in action, they're strong, they don't put up with crap, they're a little bit abrasive at times. And so this also could possibly represent a young lesbian character in your life. It's someone that is strong, fiery, they enjoy freedom, they enjoy liberation, they're adventurous. They enjoy movement forward. And this could also mean an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius woman. But it's someone of strong character, strong doing. My card, if you look at, is a woman sort of in a little bit of a business suit, her hair's up, and she's no nonsense. And she is self-liberated, and she doesn't care what people think of her, and she is in her freedom and in her truth. The Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is an older, fiery gentleman who is the spiritual revolutionary. They are a leader for radical change and evolution. They're sort of like the older, powerful sage man spiritual leader type. They could be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and they have used their life and their energy to really revolutionize the world. One of my best friends, his name is Joe Casey, and he is the head of what's called World Energy Healing, and he has used his life to be to help people with energy clearings, home clearings. He's a hypnotherapist, a counselor, and he is a strong, fatherly Leo figure. And remember, we said that many Knights of Wands are Leo, and he's a perfect example of that kind of character. It's interesting too, he's a powerful looking guy with a beard and kind of looks like my guy a little bit, strong guy in energy, and lived. My next, who I love dearly, is the Queen of Wands. And if you see my Queen of Wands, we see this elegantly dressed lady with her Model T sports car, and she's going places. She might be 80 some years old, but she's like, I'm not sitting put, I'm exploring. And that's sort of the theme of the Queen of Wands. She's the spiritual self-discoverer by doing. She's an independent, older, creative woman type that is traveling in her old age. This is the woman that goes on cruise ships and goes on spiritual adventures and hops on a plane or takes road trips. And she loves movement, and she loves discovering new people, and life is an adventure for her, and that's a great way to live. And for me, for someone who is a little bit more introverted and likes to stay put, this character really inspires me. I have some elderly lady friends in my life that are the Queen of Wands, and one of my dear friends who's a hypnotherapist, she's like, oh, I just got back from Paris and now I'm heading off to a spiritual retreat in Hawaii, and then me and my partner are gonna hang out and visit family in North Carolina, and there's just constant movement and adventure. And that's what the Queen of Wands represents, that you're never old, that no matter what your physical age is, you can live. And I love that about the Queen of Wands. She is having fun, and she is also have lived, and so she has learned life lessons. She is the extremely creative, independent older woman, possibly Aries, Leo, or Sag.